Sidious never truly feared specific Jedi groups, rather Jedi individuals that he thought could pose a threat to his galactic rule. Although the Dark Lord believed that he was far more powerful than any of these select Jedi, he did have a special spot for all of them within his mind, a spot that resolved to destroy each and every one of them in particular. Some of these great Jedi included Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Mace Windu, and to the highest degree Grandmaster Yoda, some of the only Jedi that Darth Sidious believed ever posed a true threat to his rule, as the rest of the Jedi were insignificant, except for one small faction that Sidious had somewhat of a fear for personally, and he believed that if any Jedi were to rise up and overthrow his galactic empire, it would be this group of Jedi. Therefore, once Order 66 came and the Jedi Order fell, Sidious and his Jedi acolytes searched the Jedi archives for specific information on this faction of Jedi, as he believed that the nature of this type of Jedi gave them an instant advantage over evading the Jedi Purge, and it was only if Sidious could get information on these Jedi that he could truly have his Inquisitors or Darkside adepts hunt them down and eliminate them. These Jedi wielded the rare and beautiful yellow lightsabers and were known as Jedi Sentinels. Within the Jedi Order, the spirit of the Jedi Sentinel had always existed, with many guardians and consulars building a strong connection to the galactic public whom the Jedi Order professed to protect. A Jedi Sentinel, though, was truly in the service of protection, and were more service-oriented as a whole, seeking out cities rather than temples, crowds over solitude. Jedi Knights pursued the Sentinel field of study as a specialization of the specific discipline, in the same way that a consular might become a healer, or a guardian might aspire to become a peacekeeper of the Jedi. While it is unclear when Sentinels became their own unique discipline rather than a specialization within another school of thought, some historians described Master Morit Chagala as the founder of this particular discipline. Chagala served as a member of the Army of Light and a Jedi recruiter with the Acquisition Division, and he believed that the differences between his line of thought and the Guardians, Consulars, and Sentinels was distinct enough to warrant his own branch of study. It was during this era that Sentinels began to flourish in the post-war era that followed the Ruusan reformations, and spearheaded the galaxy and became some of the Order's most recognizable members, famous throughout the stars. Many of these Jedi Sentinels served as freelance law enforcers, and were respected as Jedi that could be approached with any problem, and not just large-scale galactic problems that would be handled by Jedi Guardians or Jedi Consulars. When the Galactic Empire came to power at the end of the Clone Wars, the Sentinels suffered less casualties than any other Jedi in service of the Order due to their nature to remain anonymous, as well as their nature of avoiding temples and working in city environments rather than within these temples. However, those that did not die during the execution of Order 66 were ruthlessly hunted by the Inquisitors of the Empire. Because of their local populace's familiarity with them, the Sentinels were easily and eagerly turned over by the opportunists seeking to gain credibility with the new Empire. With many dying during the Jedi Purge, others fled into the depths of cities they served, becoming vigilantes in the night, working anonymously, refusing to give up their Jedi history and the way of the Jedi. In my view, it's possible to know too much about combat and the Force, if it means you know next to nothing about the intelligence gathering, computer slicing, technological surveillance, or espionage. Sentinels approach these disciplines from the bottom up, without assuming that the Force will reveal all answers to them. When you do this, you'll find there's a greater deal of civilians of the galaxy you can teach, and in return can teach us. The Jedi Watchmen were a group of Jedi Sentinels who chose to work alone in the oversight of peace on a single planet or system in the galaxy, focusing on bettering society and protecting the rights of the system for years at a time. They became a vital liaison between the planetary government of this planet and the Jedi High Council. Unfortunately, though, it was also the cause of many Jedi Sentinels to turn to the dark side of the Force, even in times without the Great Purge, as another duty of the Jedi Sentinel was to hunt down the dark side of the Force in any aspect that they came across it, hunting down ancient Sith holocrons, temples, and even dark Jedi. Unfortunately, because of this, many Sentinels turned to the dark side of the Force during the events of Order 66, without an order to strictly follow. And this unfortunately is why a large number of the Sentinels died off during the era of the Galactic Civil War, becoming Dark Jedi and fleeing into the galaxy, pursuing their own philosophies and religions and viewpoints on the Force, believing that the Jedi Order was ultimately incorrect, and this led to their downfall. Jedi Sentinels in many cases went against the wishes of the Jedi High Council, similar to Jedi such as Qui-Gon Jinn. There were, however, though, phenomenal members among the ranks of a Jedi Sentinel, Sentinels that remained loyal to the Jedi Order even after the official fall of the Jedi during Order 66 and the Jedi Purge, that, as we explained earlier, became sort of vigilantes of the night of the various cities that they protected. Unfortunately though, because of their ability never to give up, these Jedi were easily identified by the Inquisitors as the years went on, and unfortunately nearly all of the Jedi were hunted down and killed by the Inquisitor. This doesn't mean though that Darth Sidious didn't have a great fear for them, as it was always in the back of his mind that if any Jedi were going to hide throughout the stars most effectively, it would be a Jedi Sentinel, a Sentinel that was familiar with aspects beyond simply what the Jedi taught them. Therefore, Sidious deemed it imperative that they search out all the information on Jedi Sentinels that had been deployed throughout the galaxy among the Jedi archives, an event that was largely successful, unfortunately in the case of the Jedi. Nonetheless, this is why Darth Sidious feared the Jedi with yellow lightsabers the most, as they in fact knew the most and were not isolated within the walls of the Jedi Temple, something that Sidious used to his advantage, as again his main goal was to separate the population of the galaxy from the Jedi, and allow the public to turn on the Jedi. Anyway though, my friends, what are your guys' thoughts on this, and why Sidious feared the Jedi Sentinels the most? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.